Okay, for our next art project, we will be making a snowman. Typically, when we draw a snowman, we draw a small circle, a medium circle, and a big circle. But the snowman we are going to make today is going to be cropped. So to crop our snowman, we want to imagine zooming in on a piece of our snowman, right? So we are not going to draw the entire snowman. We are going to pretend that he is very, very big and zoom in on just the face and a part of the body. And you can make yours however you would like, okay? But when we use our whole paper and crop images and do things a little bit differently, it makes our artwork look more interesting. So I am going to make my snowman really big. I'm going to start with a big circle head. And with my head being this big, I wouldn't see that much of the second part, the torso of my snowman. It almost looks like the start to a drawing of a person. So now I have my head and the top of my body. I want to think about all of the things my snowman has. I want to make sure he has a nice carrot nose, shaped like a triangle. I want to make sure he has a big dotted smile and 2 eyes. You can give him whatever kind of hat you would like. I'm going to give mine a top hat. Now, since I cropped my snowman and made him really big, I'm not going to see the whole hat. I would probably just see the top. And this part would be erased. Okay, so now I've drawn my snowman. Maybe you might want to give him a scarf, if you would like. That's how I would do that. And maybe there's a part here hanging down. I'm going to make mine a striped scarf. And if I'm imagining my snowman cropped and really big like this, I might only see one of his buttons. But you can crop your snowman all different types of ways. And if you join our meetings, I'm going to show examples of other ways you can do this. Next, I want to outline. Now I'm using a Sharpie, because I'm going to paint my snowman. If you have paint at home and you want to paint too, you absolutely can. If you use a Crayola marker and then you use watercolor on it, it kind of turns into paint. And I'll show you that technique in this video as well. Okay. I wouldn't see this part because that would be covered. I'm also going to add value to the snowman, and we've talked a lot about value when we did our apple project. To make my snowman look more three-dimensional. So I'm cropping my snowman. I'm outlining with the Sharpie. If you have a crayon to outline, that's great. If you have paint at home and you want to paint your snowman, you can absolutely do that. If you have crayons, you can use whatever you have for your snowman. Oh no, my Sharpie's a little dry. I take my time and trace over and outline all of my pencil lines. Nice and neat, having good craftsmanship like we talked about. Color in my charcoal smile. If I find another Sharpie, I might go over it since this one's drying out on me. Okay, so now I am ready to add my color. You may use, again, whatever you have. If you have oil pastels, crayons, markers, watercolors, these are mine. I know yours might look a little bit different, but I'm gonna show you a few different ways. So our goal to add value to the snowman, and you'll see in our examples, is to pick two similar colors and put it near the outside of my snowman. Darker towards the outside, and then a little bit lighter towards the inside. I am going to show you using my paints. And this is the same idea no matter what material you are using. So I'm going to pick for mine two different kinds of blues. That's a nice blue. And that's nice blue. Okay, so I'm going to wet my brush, and if you're using watercolor, you can make sure you wet your brush first. Take a little bit of paint. We're always nice to our brush. We always want him standing nice and tall. And I am going to put in a little bit on the outside. Tracing the outline of my snowman's face and his body. If you want to pick a green and a light green, you can do that. Dark purple and a light purple, you can do that. Now I'm going to look for my next blue that looks a little bit lighter, and mix a little bit of the next lighter blue into it. Giving my snowman some value. Oops, that's too much. If you get too much, you could just grab some water and spread it out. And this works the same with crayon and anything else. And down here, same thing. Oop, too much water. Blend it out. Awesome. So now I'm ready to add some color to the rest of my snowman, now that he has some value. Since now I'm working with a smaller area, I don't want as much water on my brush if you're using watercolor, because it's easy to lose control and have it go outside of those nice lines we made. Great. Paint his nice top hat. It's purple. Found it. The more water you have, the lighter your color will be. I think our snowmen look so much more interesting when they're cropped, nice and big. You can have yours go diagonal. I'm so excited to see all the different things you choose. Okay, now I have my background and my scarf left to paint. I think I'm going to choose to do a pattern on my scarf. I'm going to pick 2 different types of greens for my stripes. I should have taken an eraser and erased my extra pencil lines, but I forgot. That would make it have made it look even nicer. So my pattern's going to be green. So I'm leaving every other space empty for my next color. Okay, let's do green and dark green. Awesome. For my background, I'm going to do a purpley night sky. Since we read, if you were in class with us, we read Snowman at night. And when I see purple in the background, that makes me think of nighttime. So I'm giving my picture a time. So if you're using watercolor, something really cool you can do is add salt to it. And what the salt does is it absorbs some of the water on the background, and it'll leave you with like a bunch of little white dots like snow that you can add. And this is going to be awesome no matter what material you're using at home. So if you join our meetings, we're going to talk about the history and the origins of snowmen and how snowmen are actually a type of art, right? Because they're a sculpture. It's something 3D that you make. Awesome. So all I need is my salt. Hold on. Which I cannot find right now. But if you have salt at home, and you're not like Miss Friel who doesn't right now, you can sprinkle it on the background and you will see it absorb and come up, and that's going to give you a texture on your snowman. Okay, so I am so excited to see your snowman. Again, of course you do not have to use paint, but you can if you want to. Oh, if you have marker, something you can do is really cool. I'm just going to show you this trick really quick. So if you're using marker, watercolor markers, you can turn them into paint. I think it should work with this. And how you do that is you outline a section with your marker. Crayola, I think it works with Mr. Sketch. We're about to experiment and see. You take a wet brush. If you don't have that, you can take a Q-tip, whatever you have. And if you add water to it, it becomes paint. So if you have Crayola markers and you want to try this, go for it. You do not dip your marker in the water. That is not how it goes. You want to put your marker on the paper and then add water to it. Okay, I'm so excited to see your snowman.